Hi guys, this is Namcraft and welcome yet to yet another StarCraft English commentary. This is gonna be ASS Season 16, round of H, March 3, Set 1. Played between Sharp and Mini in the first map in the series is gonna be Polypoint. So finally we have one Protoss, the last Protoss in action. And I'm sorry I arrived kind of late to the scene because I actually had work. I was just arriving just now. And today actually the internet quality might not be so great. So if you're gonna see some kind of disruption in the quality, please bear with me. But it looks like on Polypoint, Sharp is gonna be the red Terran located at the bottom right corner of the screen, and Mini is gonna be the blue Protoss located at the top left area of the screen. And it looks like we're gonna be seeing 12 Nexus coming down from Mini, so far unpunished by Sharp. And the way it looks like the scouting SCV from Sharp has arrived rather late, so Mini kind of got away with it. We have a single vulture coming out. This vulture is gonna try to chase down that probe, and indeed it does catch the probe. The two Marines are returning. So that is forcing Mini to put down a cannon in the front of very nice way to place a cannon, which is pylon on the high ground and then cannon on the low ground. But there's a bit of space between that cannon and the rest of the base. So the vulture's already here. The probe will need to evacuate now. The Zealot's gonna try to buy some time, and the probe are, oh my god, it gets inside the main, and this is gonna be ridiculous. It's mouse on leaks until the Dragoon actually get out to catch this vulture in action. But anyways, let's see if that vulture is gonna be able to take out several probes or not. Looks like one probe died. It's targeting the Zealot, which is a mistake. It needs to not target the Zealot, but it needs to target the probe. And finally, one probe died. That was a long way away from catching, several probes. But now it finds a nice, enclave here in the bottom. Yeah, this is wasting so much time for Sharp, man. He is forced to dedicate so much time. And the second unit that came out of the gateway was a Zealot, not a Dragoon. So this vulture can just be buying like gazillion seconds here. But finally, that vulture dies, and the second vulture is gonna follow suit. Let's see if it's gonna be able to get away from the cannon. We have a kind of a hidden building though for Mini, excuse me, at the very interesting. He chose the bottom left corner to be a place to go for his hidden Citadel of Adut and triple Nexus from Sharp. This is unnecessary because Sharp is already way ahead. He doesn't need to go for triple Nexus, I think. Excuse me, triple command center. I think he could just be riding off of two command centers, but he really wants to push ahead. And this is sometimes what happens to me as well as a player when I get too confident when I play, and I go for like triple nexus when I see that my opponent is a noob, and just go for, for example, if I'm playing against Protoss, the guy goes for cannon or something. And indeed, in some instances I've seen my opponent goes for cannon, doesn't expand, and then go for triple gateway. So that is something. Oh my god, the vulture even sees this hidden building, and look at the reaction on Mini's face. I mean, Mini is a guy who's known to be very much unstable. I think in his mentality, he's known to kind of fall apart when the game doesn't go according to plan, and that single pylon is gonna get taken out. And Mini is building a cannon inside his main as well. Out of all things, he's expecting a drop follow-up, but it's not going to be any things coming from the air, but it's going to be 3 base economy coming out very strong for Sharp here. Just a single Dragoon and a single Zealot is coming out. This Dragoon is going to try to take out the vulture, which might be successful for Sharp, but excuse me, for me, but I don't think the Dragoon is going to be able to get out of there alive, because there's going to be mines and other buildings placed outside. Anyways, the vulture is gonna try to run out. Is it gonna escape? No, it doesn't escape, and that's gonna be the end of that vulture here. Looks like a lot of turrets going up everywhere instead of Sharp's main, and Mini's in for surprise. By the time Mini gets there, he's gonna be finding that there's nothing to harass because there's stuff everywhere. He's he's forced to kind of play catch up. He's gonna take a Nexus. Yeah, take Nexus at the inner 10 o'clock position. That is, better late than never, right? But there's no way he's going to be able to catch up. Look at the supply. Well, I guess Mini is still ahead by about 11 supply. He drops his Zealot to drive the mine away, and he takes a hit on that single Dark Templar. There might be another. Okay, there's already a turret here, so there's no way this shuttle can do any kind of damage. Yeah, but surprisingly, I think what a good thing is that you know, the early Nexus from Mini kind of paid out, you know, or something like that, because he's still ahead by about just about 3 supply. He needs to upgrade his City of Adun because he's gonna be losing both his City of Adun and Templar Archive. We're seeing some vultures moving out. Yeah, and there's no way that Mini could come back from this. And you know, sometimes like in chess, you need to kind of just, you know, throw away your game and start from scratch. And this is something that, you know, Mini should have done, like, I think now. But of course, in StarCraft, people don't give up easily, and that fine, the single pylon is gonna get taken out. And Mini didn't even dedicate a probe to rebuild his pylon right after the first vulture was destroyed, which is something I would do. Yeah, but very quick reaction from Sharp here, just pulling out 2 vultures the moment he sees that there's no need to place any vultures in the area. We're gonna be seeing 2 Dark Templar coming out here, but it's for nothing. There's already so many units, or there's so many mines as well. But at least 1 vulture gets taken out, and he's gonna rebuild. Yeah, oh my god, does he see the probe? He does see the probe. That probe gets taken out, and more probe might get, and 4 command center. Is this kind of like, you know, manner or something like that? Because there's no need to go 4 command center at all, man. He can just win easily out of 3 command centers. But I think he just want to make sure that he's gonna have the best luck in the world. And as I mentioned to you in some of the previous casts, that Mini, one of the funny thing about him when he plays Protoss versus Terran is that he always has problem transferring his probes. And he's gonna be having another problem transferring his probes now, because there's 3 vultures coming out. What do we have? A Dark Templar and a Zealot on the high ground here. But okay, what kind of situation do we have here? We're gonna be having a 4th Nexus coming down, and this single mine's gonna take and attack both of the Dark Templar. Maybe no, but we have the Dark Templars getting loaded into the shuttle. And these 3 Dragoons gonna be firing, clearing out the situation. Yeah, and Mini is gonna be go for basing, you know, out of no City of Adun, because usually at this time of the game, 10 minutes mark, he's gonna be having some, I don't know, Zealot Leg, some High Templars coming out, but he's not allowed to even upgrade his City of Adun and his Templar Archive, because he didn't have a pylon. Might as well make 2 pylons in that area. To be honest, he's gonna be coming up with a lot of game, but Mini is still ahead by about a good 30 supply though. I guess Sharp is just gonna play the long game and make sure he has his upgrades, you know, up, his armory spinning, his 4 base economy doing very strong. He might even go for a 5th freaking command center. Are you kidding me or what, Sharp? I mean, this guy's ridiculous. Anyways, these 4 vultures might be coming out here to snipe those High Templars, and we're going to be seeing Mini shaking his head once again when these units get through. When we have 4 vultures coming through, when they're going to start to attack Dragoons out here at the last minute. Very lucky for Mini to save 2 High Templars, but he lost a couple there. These 4 vultures and a lot of tanks are going to be coming out. These Dragoons are out of position. I think we need to have a shuttle in the area to support, and vultures on the other side. Dragoons not firing correctly. They're going to fire now. And where these vultures going, they're going to be having a hard, tough time in this corner. But looks like counter-attack from Mini though. It looks like these tanks are out of position. What the heck are you doing, Sharp? Sharp has such a good economic lead, but he's going to have to play perfectly, I think. And I don't know why Mini is allowed to just, you know, be very strong economically against a 4-base Terran. If somebody played Terran versus Protoss, please enlighten me. How is Mini still in this game and he's ahead by about 20 supplies, excuse me? Is it because, you know, just that Sharp focused mainly on his economy and he kind of neglected his army for some time? Is that what, you know, is that the main reason? Or that the early lead from the fast Nexus was really good? I don't know. But anyways, we have 4 High Templars inside of this shuttle, so they're protected now. These vultures, which are the signatures moved from Sharp, are not able to do a goddamn thing. And these Zealot need to get pulled back. One Zealot need to go out there to go for the Mind Drag, and it does go for the Mind Drag here. Dragoon's gonna be clearing out the rest of these mine. A little bit unfortunate there, but the game is gonna stabilize. Mini 180 supply, Sharp 152, and Mini is not yet going out for the attack. The 5th command center goes down, so we are in store for very macro-oriented game from both of these players. 5 base command 5 base Protoss versus 5 base Terran, and in this kind of build, you know, Protoss can afford to waste a lot of forces because High Templar scale really well. We're going to be seeing the first major attack that Mini is going to launch against this third base here, and Dragoon's going to get on high ground. They need to. A lot of tanks coming from the other side, and we do have some storm. They need to storm the SCV. He does storm the next SCV, which is a nice idea, and more storm on the tanks, but that's going to be the end of the attack. I think no, Mini goes ahead anyway. He clear out that bunker. Now several storms are casting, and sometimes are taking out, but now it's going to be the end of this attack. I think some kind of mine drag on the left side, but not yet clearing out the rest of the tank, and Mini is pushed back. He lost a good deal of something like 60 supplies there, and SCVs even get transferred to the base on the top right corner of the map, while these Protoss units are out of position. And this is a little bit unfortunate because had Mini kind of delayed the attack a little bit longer, then those SCVs would not be able to come out. At least the move would be delayed, and we're going to be seeing the push now from Sharp. Sharp says, you know, I know you are short in forces, so I'm going to go ahead and push ahead and take out, I don't know, 2 bases. The bottom left corner and the 9 o'clock position are going to be in store here, and we're going to be seeing some cannons getting set up, but not enough. 2 cannons, yeah, but there's nothing that can be done against the incoming horde of tanks. They're going to start to siege this area. And okay, we're going to be just a single Goliath first, but this army is kind of small, so if Sharp wanted to, Mini wanted to, he could just push ahead, but looks like he's going to go for the counter attack. We have a Dark Templar in the area, not yet being used by Mini. I think it might be just on hold position. We're going to be having a small base trade here, but this is a little bit interesting here because looks like Sharp is going to be losing a lot of tanks and SCV on this area. And he's going to be wasting a lot more forces trying to get. What are these double shadow dropping some Zealot here, and Zealot bombing is able to clear out some of the tanks, but not all. And this group of Protoss forces is going to get destroyed, but they're going to try to take out as many supply depot as possible. Double shadow comes in. What do we have? What do they have? High Templars on the high ground. It's going to be very good to storm the tanks on the low ground, but for the time being, Mini is going to be losing all of his Templar Archive instead of doing +2 weapons and +1 armor on the Protoss army. Does he have anything inside the shadow? I'm not so sure. Okay, he does pull off a nice storm drop. He's going to pick up the rest of the Zealot and get the heck out of there. Let's take a look at the top right corner of the map, because it looks like Sharp has okay, this nexus goes up. Sharp has you know, saturated that base with some SCVs, and more storms getting dropped here. Maybe just buying some time because there's nothing else to be done by Mini. Mini is still ahead by about 20 supply. He comes in with more Zealot. This is just buying time, man. This is not going to do any kind of significant damage, but it keeps the Terran army occupied and just create more confusion. This observer has seen perfectly everything here, and Reaver coming out at the last minute because there's nothing to build except Reaver, because Citadel of Dune and Templar Archive is destroyed. Oh, I don't know. There's some blue stuff still at the bottom left corner of the map. I'm not so sure if it's Citadel of Dune and Templar Archive or both. So possibly just one building. Okay, what do we have here? Finally, this shadow's gonna drop some nice storm, killing several SCVs and morphing into Archon and just buying so much time. Mini is almost maxed out, man. Is he gonna stage a comeback or what? And Sharp is kind of lacking behind in terms of APM, I feel, because he could easily come and harass the 12 o'clock base during this time. He's got several idle vultures, but Mini says, I'm going to do a huge attack. He needs to think about what to do about the top right. He needs to know that there's a base there before he plunge in here with several units. The observer is able to see a lot of stuff, and we have a Zealot bombing, I guess, oh my god, this is gonna be the graveyard for one of the players. Not so sure who exactly, but at least the storms are doing a lot of units. Some of the Protoss forces get stuck on the other side. That is a beautiful stop. Do we have more storm? This is gonna be crazy comeback, and Mini can pull it off. He needs to know about the top right base, and he needs to kind of pull back now because it's just so much Terran forces in the area. Dragoon's gonna try to take care of the tanks from the high ground, while Xenot does some damage, and this is going to be the end of the attack. And Mini is not knowing about this other base. He thinks he's fighting against a 4 base Terran, but it's actually a 5 base Terran. Now he knows, but the Shadow can just easily fly over and create some distraction. He's gonna take up. He's gonna eat the gas or what? I don't know. He's gonna try to pull a minor pylon or something. I don't know. But yeah, Sharp bounces back and he takes the 6th command center. He's just so strong. Yeah, and Mini is forced to go by ground. This is terrible. You know, this is not the time for you to move ground forces. You need to go for high, you know, a Storm and Reavers, and he does do that. That shuttle is possibly going to die soon, but very nice D-Matrix. But that D-Matrix is gonna die out, and oh my god, that is not a dud. That is an actual shot, but not killing any of the SCVs, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And yeah, Mini will need to kind of come back now because Sharp is finally ahead in supply. Mini rebuilt his Templar Archive because the City of Adun is still, you know, allowed to live, I think, at the bottom left. And this is, you know, sometimes what happens in a high level play, which is the Terran player doesn't take out the City of Adun because he knows the moment he tries to take it out, the Protons player would just go and rebuild the Templar Archive before the City of Adun is destroyed. So why waste, you know, your 2 or 3 seconds trying to destroy a useless Templar Archive, right? Anyways, we have a tank trying to shell a Zealot and a Reaver, but at least mining is disrupted in that area. And Mini might be going for another attack, but another command center gets alive. So Mini is always kind of one step behind. I mean, Sharp is just doing so well in terms of economy. At least some Zealot is going to be coming out here to buy some time. Science vessels get destroyed. Mini is need to get. Oh my god, Mini is everywhere. He takes out several buildings and several units and disrupt the mining from Sharp. Sharp is now, I guess he's still ahead in supply. Mini is gonna finally rebuild his base here. Double command center. So that is good. And you know, this kind of late game Reaver attack is something that is really interesting, and Mini comes out. Mini is everywhere, and this is what people have been saying on TeamLiquid.net, which is Mini is known to be, you know, applying, you know, pressure in several locations just to make sure that his enemy doesn't have the time needed to breathe. I mean, this kind of build, this kind of playstyle is reminiscent of Bisu in his, you know, strong days. And Mini is gonna be mined out in several locations. At least his main, in the 10 o'clock position, his expansion is almost mined out. And finally, Sharp is pushed back to just 4 bases, but he's gonna finally rebuild his 5th, I guess not rebuild, but you know, saturate the SCVs on his 5th base here. We have some Protoss forces guarding this portal, but Mini will need to get his economy up once again. And yeah, the game is officially in late game now. Very late game, not late game actually, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be seeing Trooper Shuttle dropping in. We have some Zealot, but that doesn't do a damn thing because there's so much, you know, splash damage and so many high Templars probably casting a storm. That is not a great storm because it only kills, you know, a couple of stray units there, but not the majority of the tanks. But anyways, Sharp says, I'm gonna do another attack soon because I know that you're spread thin, and this is a nice drop. But the probes can get transferred to towards the other base. Mini pushed back with the rest of his forces from the northern side, so these tanks are gonna get destroyed here. One single Zealot is gonna be buying some time. He needs to get in there and do some damage, and he does some damage on those units. And High Templars casting several storms. This game is getting very entertaining to watch here. Tanks are getting splashed to their death as well. High Templars on the low grounders, nice storms damaging a Goliath and 2 tanks. But is it gonna be enough? Mini is so fast, man. I mean, oh my god. But I mean, Sharp economy is just booming, so Mini's got no chance. His reinforcement line is just so slow. Anyways, we have a single Zealot coming out here, and by some time he's hoping for a mine drag across the SCV line, but there isn't a mine drag, or there isn't a mine to be dragged. What's happening here? Some Zealot bombing, and then High Templar casting a storm on nothingness. The game is near the end, but storming from the high ground. This is reminiscent of Snow's playstyle here. He's gonna cast one more storm and hitting several tanks, and yeah, that is great. But the rest of his forces are where? I don't know. Cannons getting set up, and Mini comes out here with 2 Zealot at a 3 o'clock position, taking out some tanks. And yeah, I mean, it's very good that he's able to disrupt the economy of his enemy. But Sharp is now ahead by about 50 supply. Mini is biting his lips. He's very close to actually typing GG on his keyboard now, but he's gonna try to fight as much as possible. He's forced once again to go by ground against a lot of vultures and mine, and that is futile. Yeah, so anyways, great first game by both of the players. Especially, I have to congratulate Mini for coming back strong, even though he was behind, by miles and leagues in the most part of the game. And finally, Sharp is gonna put it in the final nail in the coffin. Mini GG, the first game goes to Sharp. Thanks for watching. If you like the cast, feel free to buy me coffee. The link is in the video description. Subscribe. Bye bye.